Here we actually have the last three sentences from what we were working on this week in class, 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to first start by underlining the three passive constructions wurden, zerstört, and wurden wieder aufgebaut, and wurden umgewandelt. Those three are all using plural substantives in the past passive or simple past form. So those were destroyed, were rebuilt, and finally wurden umgewandelt means were transformed or changed into something else. Well, what was done here? The substantive is, in each case, is actually Kirchen. These are churches in Deutschland. So we're talking about churches in Germany. In Germany were destroyed durch Bomben. I think you don't need me for that one. I know you can figure that one out. And we're talking about during the Second World War. So now it's really very clear what's meant. In sentence 3, wurden Kirchen im ganzen Land wieder aufgebaut means that churches were rebuilt throughout the entire country, im ganzen Land. But again, Kirchen, I'll just circle it so you see where it is. And finally, in the last sentence, Berliner Kirchen wurden umgewandelt. They were transformed into something else. Let's change back to red here for that. In Moscheen. Not churches, but the Islamic faith would practice in this type of a structure. Let's look at, I'll switch color to a little bit of light brown for wird genannt, wurde im 3. Jahrhundert vor Christus gebaut. Something was built in the 3rd century before Christ. What is that something? This is a singular. So it is sie. What is referring back to? Go all the way like this and talk about die chinesische Mauer. So die chinesische Mauer is named, so wird genannt is named the big wall. So the Chinese, clearly we're talking about the Great Wall of China. It was built in the 3rd century before Christ. And there is no other passive in that sentence because ist is just the main verb of the 3rd sentence there for 9. And it just means it is the longest. Actually, yes, this is interesting. It is literally the longest work of engineering or built structure, Bauwerk, in the entire world, der Welt. Now, comparatives and superlatives is something that I'll also address, but this means longest. Look at the form. It is using that st after the root, and lang becomes längst with an umlaut. Back to the passive voice. We have now wurde gegründet, and we have really very few in this last part here. Wird gefördert. But when you do see things such as ist, let's look at the second sentence. It doesn't have a form of werden, but it has ist there. Der Europarat is the subject, which is glossed down below here as the European Parliament. No, the Council of Europe. This is good for you, Katie, studying international relations. This council is really described as to what its function is in Europe in this number 10. What is it? It is a forum, ein Forum für Debatten, for debates, about general European questions. Furthermore, hat seinen Sitz in Straßburg, hat heute 47 Mitgliederstaaten oder Mitgliedsstaaten. So what it consists of are 47 member states, and it is not connected. I want to underline these in red. Ist nicht verbunden. It is not connected mit der Europäischen Union, with the European Union. Interesting. All right, I'm done with passive for the review here. Let's look at comparatives and superlatives. Now it is not the Chinese Great Wall, but the Berlin Wall that is was built, wurde gebaut 1961. Ohne Warnung wurde sie fast über Nacht von der SED-Regierung errichtet. It was erected or put up almost overnight, fast über Nacht. Let's just get a different color there. Fast über Nacht errichtet. Yeah. Now, sie is in third position here because the ohne Warnung means without warning. Then your verb is in second position, as usual. I haven't said that in a little while. It's worth repeating. Moving on, we have other forms of the passive, just as before. Wurde geteilt, was divided. What do you suppose was divided? Germany? Yes, it's here referred to as the country, das Land. Familien, now, wurden. What was done to families when Berlin divided? They were trennen. I'll have you look up the meaning of that. By the wall, durch die Mauer. Next sentence. We're going to switch to brown, underline, because it's not a passive. I'm underlining the verbs again. This is a different tense that we learned Monday as well. Future tense. And how do we form the future tense? Well, it consists of some conjugated form of the verb werden plus the infinitive. Diskutieren und erfahren. Werden wir ihre Rolle? We will discuss and learn about its role, ihre Rolle, in the post-war politics, in der Nachkriegspolitik, after and war and Politik altogether, as it was a symbol of the Cold War, as it became a symbol of the Cold War. Also here in brown we have an active form of werden, conjugated as wurde, became, but no passive and actually no future. It's got a, by the fact of the matter of it, conjugated as preterite, it means it has to be became. So you're seeing werden used in all its guises in this small text. Korb did a nice job with this one. Now we have a sentence that starts with nach 28 Jahren. So let's calculate here. 28 plus 61. How many years does that come up to? 1989. So we're getting somewhere even before we look at the verb forms. But I'm going to keep this in red for the purposes of what we did earlier and say wurde geöffnet. Getting closer. Can you guess as to what the sentence means? If we say that die Grenze is the border and wurde geöffnet nach 28 Jahren, and on this specific date, these are adverbial. They mean completely unexpectedly and again. Completely, unerwartet, is adjectival here. Actually, no, adverbial, sorry. Again, also modifying that it was opened, so adverbial. Getting closer. Noch im Oktober 1989 war der 40. Jahrestag der DDR mit großem Jubel gefeiert worden. I'm glad that we're extending ourselves into another tense. War gefeiert worden. It's passive, but it is the past perfect of a passive. Had been what? What is gefeiert? Feiern is to celebrate, so it had been celebrated just in October, just in the month prior. So still in October of that same year, 1989, had the 40th celebration, anniversary is Jahrestag, the 40th anniversary of the East Germany, or the Deutsche Demokratische Republik, DDR, gefeiert. Celebrated. That's so choppy I need to repeat it. So again, still in October of 1989, the 40th anniversary of East Germany, the former East Germany I could call it now, had been celebrated with great, now I haven't done this yet, with großem Jubel, with great fanfare. Jubeln is to sing, like you would shout it from the mountaintop or give a fanfare. All right. Finally, we have a future, back to Brown, wird stehen. This is what Honecker, their time president of the East Germany, had said. He had said the wall will stand still in 100 years. 100 Jahre. Let me refine that translation a little bit, because it sounds better, really. It's accurate to say the wall will stand still for 100 years. Not still in 100 years, but for 100 years. Last but not least, I already said last, but I didn't get there. We're going to do wurde unterzeichnet und wurden wieder vereinigt. So, something was underscored and some things were reunited. Well, what could have been underscored is a treaty. Vertrag is a contract, literally. Einigung means unity or unification. So a treaty of unification was signed or underscored. I think literally there it means supported by both German states and the four allies. I'm not going to underline it because you see where that is in the sentence. And then the date is first. Remember that time expressions prefer to be placed before place. So time before place. Manner comes there in between if there are adverbials. We did it. I think that's it. By the way, this is Beethoven. Those music students figured that out. It's his Second Symphony in the background. And I just thought that since Katie's sentence last Monday had a Beethoven detail in it, I would bring up that music. All right, on to the last mini lecture for this week. You'll see it following this one.